Hi, this is Matt with LSAT Cracked. In a previous lesson, I gave you a two-part framework for evaluating conclusions. Can I make that exact claim about that exact object class? We did a couple of examples where the object class slightly shifted because of a subset arrangement. All red trucks doesn't necessarily mean all trucks when we have one in the premise and one in the conclusion, and other relatively simple, straightforward examples. I want to provide you a couple of other conceptual buckets to use when thinking about if the premises are all true, does this particular conclusion have to be true? There are a few general things to look out for, and we'll go into these in more depth in future lessons. When you're thinking about spotting a new claim being made in the argument, you want to be able to recognize certain new keywords that when they appear are especially important on the LSAT. Now, in a previous lesson, we talked about one of them, prescriptive words, should, ought, obligation, these sorts of things, right? When all of a sudden we move from the descriptive realm of the premises, let's say, to a new obligatory, should, ought, prescriptive claim in the conclusion. That's a new claim being made, so it fits within our framework, right? Let's think about some other ones. If they ever try and say that something is an explanation or a cause, they basically mean the same thing. That's a new term, it's a new claim being made. They're making a claim about causation, a very powerful claim that's always wrong on the LSAT. So you also need to be able to spot that. If they ever use a new term generally, that's maybe somewhat similar to what they've described in the premises, you need to notice that subtle difference. So if we're told that if someone has a lot of money and meditates 5 hours per day, then that person has inner peace, let's say. We say John makes a lot of money, has a lot of money, and meditates 6 hours per day, which definitely activates the 5 hours per day or more condition. Then the inference that we can draw is that he has inner peace. If the conclusion says, therefore John has a good life, don't think, well, yeah, I know that if someone has inner peace, they have a good life. No, you don't. That's just your own assumption you're bringing into the argument. The very literal-minded way you want to think about that is, good life is a new term. It is an undefined term. If you typed it into a computer program and you hadn't defined it to the computer would be like, error, undefined new term, don't know what it means. That's the direction you want to start taking your brain for the LSAT. Now, you still need to know the English language. You will still need to understand reasonable English synonyms, but when in doubt, the takeaway lesson from this video is this. When you see a new term in the conclusion, and you're not sure, you're honestly debating whether or not it's a reasonable synonym for something that you read earlier in the premises, I want you to err on the side of saying it's a bad argument. The burden of proof is on the argument to walk you step by step in an airtight, bulletproof manner to show you how these premises absolutely lead to this exact particular conclusion. And if they don't do that, it's going to be a bad argument.